Good day, everyone. This introduction webinar will cover basic usage concepts for APSE. So what is APSE? Well, simply put, APSE is a work management tool. It manages work. What will we cover today? We'll cover APSE items that we'll be using in APSE, item relationships, logging in, item naming, email notifications, bulk uploads, the SharePoint folder dedicated to APSE, support, webinars we'll be having on a weekly basis, key contacts, and concepts. Concepts that recur in APSE, and once you get these concepts, you can do about 90% of everything in APSE. What do we create in APSE? We create 4 items in APSE. We create actions, we create meetings, which can also be called enablers. We create risks and issues at the O2C level only. If it goes beyond O2C, then it would go into another tool. Who uses APSE? Basically everybody uses APSE. Everyone in the program uses APSE either by creating items or by responding to them in a work assignment. APSE has item relationships. These 4 items, meetings, actions, risks, and issues, can be related to each other. They can be appended to each other. And in addition to that, we can link objects outside of APSE to these items. To log in, it's pretty simple. You go to the login screen, you enter your username and password. Sometimes it doesn't work. The key problem I've seen when people have login problems is that their password has expired. APSE passwords last only 45 days. After 45 days, they automatically expire. If you're using APSE and in 45 days goes by, you'll be reminded to change your password. So it's just not taken away from you. But if you haven't used your account in some period of time, for instance, if you got an account and you hadn't logged in yet and it had been 45 days, the password will have expired. If that happens, or if your password expires for any reason, simply click the password request link at the bottom of the login screen, and you'll get a password within 30 minutes. And that URL will take you to the tool. The first screen that you get when you log in APSE will be the home screen. There are 6 cells in that screen. Today I wanted to highlight just 3 of them. The top left screen will house your assignments in APSE. If you have an assignment and you're next in line, it will appear there. In addition to that, if you have an assignment and it's late, it will also appear there, and you'll see the date will be in red, and you'll also get an email notification every day. In the cell below that are my subscriptions. These are subscriptions that you've subscribed to within APSE. For instance, you'll see an item like an action, and you can click a subscription link to subscribe to it. So it will be linked there, and you can go to that item when you log in directly through that link. In the bottom right, that houses your favorite reports. We'll be covering reports in a separate webinar, but if you have a report that you've created and you want it to be a favorite, you click the favorite button and it shows up as a link in this cell in the right. If you click the map tab over here, you can see it, the map tab. You can get to the area that houses our 4 items. Okay, these 4 functions: actions, issues, risks, and all meetings. You can see a larger view of it there. Very easy to get to. Click any of those and you can create any of those items or access the database. Note about item naming in APSE. We are requesting that you prefix your item names with the workstream, scrum team, or value stream, and try to be brief. The goal is 4 words or less after the prefix. Some enabler or meeting examples would be those 2: MSO _ internal sales order meeting, O2C _ SAP sales order training. You get the idea. Try to keep your titles short and try to prefix them with a workstream, scrum team, or a value stream. Here's an example of an email notification you would get if you had an assignment. For instance, these 4 that you're looking at are in red. You can see the deadline dates in red, and you can see a description of that action, of those items. Here I have an action, I have an agile meeting, I have an issue, I have a risk. This is the state that the item is in. In this case, the action is in progress, meeting is planned, issue is open and assigned, and the risk has been identified. The deadline has passed. It shows you the deadline. Each item in APSE has a unique item number, so the item number will appear here, and the link to that item would be here. So if you click this link from your email and you log into APSE, you can go directly to that item. So you'll get those. If you're late, you'll get them on a daily basis. If you're next in line, you'll get them when that happens. This is an APSE weekly email notification from RACI. When we'll look into how you fill in those RACI fields in a little bit later in the presentation. However, if you are identified as an accountable person, a consultative person, an informed person in the RACI fields, you'll get these emails on a weekly basis that will show you, that will identify when an item's been modified, signed, modified, or deleted. That would be weekly. APSE item bulk uploads. You can upload multiple items using CSV templates that are stored in the APSE folder. These templates are designed specifically for each item, so we have 4 templates for our 4 items. The templates and the instructions are, like I said, are in the APSE SharePoint folder. And once you fill those out, you can send the templates, the completed templates, to Erin Jones, and she will upload those. So if you had, you know, like 100 actions, you'd want to use a template instead of doing them one at a time. This is what the SharePoint folder looks like at the O2C site. You can see we have an APSE folder under Key Tools, and you click on that folder and you'll see the subfolders. We have 5 subfolders. Communications, any communication we send out regarding APSE would be stored there. Quick reference guides are stored there, and like I mentioned before, we have quick reference guides on every single topic that we talk about. We have Solman APSE reference information in this folder. The 3rd folder, we have upload templates in the 4th folder, including instructions on how to use them and examples. And then we have a folder just dedicated to the webinars that we present. We have a lot of APSE support. We hold weekly webinars, and in those webinars, no matter what the topic, we leave some time at the end for Q&A. You can ask a question about anything, and we use those webinars for 2 purposes: to train and also to get feedback. So we're very interested in your feedback. We want to make APSE a streamlined, smooth, simple tool and effective tool. So your feedback's very important to us. APSE QRGs and webinars are also in the SharePoint site. So webinars and all these the actual webinars on the topics we present are in that folder, as well as QRGs on each topic, quick reference guides. Bulk item uploads, like we just mentioned, are in the APSE folder, and we wanted to let you know we have some subject matter experts in APSE you can ping separately to get information, or as a group. For access to APSE within O2C, you can contact me. For access to APSE outside of O2C, we'd like you to contact Erin Jones. Here's the webinars to date that we've identified. We have this introduction webinar today. We have a webinar on creating actions, meetings, bulk upload templates, creating risks and issues, and creating reports. And we will have more. Your questions and feedback are important to us. You can contact any member of our core team. This is also our configuration control board for APSE. We're lucky in that we have Erin on our team who can make changes in real time. I'm the integrator of APSE for O2C, and Chris Wright is our team lead. If you send emails to the DL there, DL O2C APSE, you will send it to all 3 of us. Key concepts throughout APSE are mandatory fields, entering team members, flexible field entries, RACI assignments and notifications we just talked about, linking docs and URLs, workflow and assignments, and emails and responding to assignments. Okay, so I want to pull up APSE right now. I've already logged in, and here's my APSE. And you'll see in the upper left, I have a number of assignments. By the way, if there's too many to view, you can click this top right icon here, and you'll get the entire list of your assignments right there. And you can click it again, and it goes back down. So you can see, like we mentioned before, the type of item is listed first, and underneath is the status of the item, the state of the item. In this case, this item is in action in progress. It's late. It's February 18th in red. Here's the unique item number for this item, and then a link to it. And if I click that link right there, I'll go right to the item. The cell below is an item that I have subscribed to, so it's listed there, and I can click on that link and I'll go right to it. The bottom right is the favorite reports cell, and in there I've identified 2 reports that are my favorites, so they're listed there. If I click the map cell, I'll go to the map screen, and let's click actions here. And I want to show you some examples of some things. Let me click create to get a blank screen. So you can see the red M's to the right. That means these are mandatory fields. These fields must be filled in, or the item will not save. So that's a key thing to note when you're filling out an item, that you have to complete the mandatory field. You can see this M is in the space between here. It just didn't have enough room on the right here. This is actually a mandatory field for action description, but you get the idea. Let's enter a person. Let's do that because that's an interesting concept. So if I click accountable here, this is a RACI field. So I'm going to enter someone as accountable for this. So I'm going to put my name here. You just enter the first name and click enter, and you'll get all the Michaels. So I'm going to click myself. Now notice that the accountable field only had 1 entry. You could only have 1 person accountable, but you can have multiple consulted. So you notice this field is a lot bigger. I clicked on the consulted field. I'm going to click John here and click enter, and it's going to list all the Johns. So I'm going to click John Thomas, John Smiths, John Hawthorne, John Gardner. I'm going to click all the Johns, and you can see how they're loaded in there. And that's how you load people into APSE. I will say this about people in APSE. If you want to insert someone into a person field in APSE, they must have an APSE account. If they don't have an APSE account, you can't enter them into the field. They won't show up. By the way, when you're doing bulk uploads, it's important to note that when you enter humans' names, people's names into these fields, they have to be exactly as they appear in APSE. So just make note of that. In the RACI fields, like we said before, if you're identified in a RACI field, you will get a weekly notification of updates to that particular item. So it will come to you on a weekly basis. Let's see what else we want to cover. RACI assignments and notifications. Linking documents. Let's go to linking documents. I'm going to go out of this now. I'm going to go back. I want to show you a previously linked document, hopefully. Here we go. So this is an action, and I'm going to go to edit mode, and I'm going to go to URLs. So if I go to URLs, this is how I can link documents outside of APSE to the item. You simply put the URL in. You can see I put a URL in here. I stored a test document in the APSE folder, and I named it CRD test document. So I simply put that URL in there. Let's do it again. I'm going to copy this and put it in there. And then I described it. So I'm going to call it CRD test document 2. I'm going to click add, and you can see it added it. So I have CRD test document 2. If you want to edit or remove a document, you just click these 2 keys. Since I already have this here, I'm going to delete this, but you get the idea. That's how you add an external document, append an external document to an APSE item. If I want to append something inside of APSE, something that's been preloaded, we typically don't preload documents into APSE because APSE is not approved to store proprietary or internal information for Boeing. So we really don't store that much in APSE, but we did import the L3s. So if I wanted to append an L3, for instance, I'd click list, the type of document. In the case of an L3, it is a process, and all the L3s are listed right below here. And if I want to select one of these, I just select it. You see it showed up here. I click OK, and there it is. So that's how you append internal documents to an APSE item, which there probably won't be that many. Workflow and assignments. Let's go back to details and let's go to workflow. This workflow has been completed. I think it's a good opportunity to show you how it works. Each item has a template for action. For instance, in the case of this workflow here, we have action identified, action in progress, action complete, action reviewed and completed. However, if I unsign these, let me unsign them, you'll see M's located to the right. Those are mandatory fields. So I listed myself here, but I could change that. Let me put a John in there. Let's put a John Thomas. And John now is on the hook for this. Since it's late, if I save this, John would get an email stating that this action is late. He didn't identify it, and he needs to attend to it. So he'll get that every day until it's finished. That's how workflow assignments work. You fill out all the people in the workflow assignments. You put the date in, and then you can save the item. Until you complete your workflow, you can't save an item, and that's true of all the workflows. That's true of all the items. So for any item that you create in APSE, you have to have a workflow. You have to have at least 2 items filled in. In this case, you can see 4 were required, but in many cases, there will be only 2, but it doesn't matter. We recommend that you complete the entire template and then assign dates to it, and then you're good to go. So that's email. So if you get an email, you simply click on the link of that email, and it will take you to the item. Let me close this without saving. Let me pull the item back up. It will take you to the item. Now, I think it's worth pointing out these icons here. This icon here is an edit document. So if you click on this icon here for the document type, you will go right into edit mode. But if you click just read the document, this is where the link will take you. So the link will take you here in an unopened document. So you would have to click edit document in order to open it. You click edit document to open it, and then you can go to workflow, and then you can deal with whatever you've been assigned to do. So that's how responding to emails would be. You would log into APSE, you'd click the link, you would go to the item, you would open it for editing, and then you would go to workflow, and that's how that works. So this pretty much concludes the presentation today. If you have any questions, please contact our team, any member of our team, and thank you very much.